Hey, what is up, you guys? TITOBODS here, and today is our mark for the second hero spotlight in our channel. The first one was this video right here, and now we are going to go for a Lubu. So I choose Lubu specifically because there are new players in new servers that are actually asking us about the Lubu lineup, and also they're asking if what heroes they need to use for or as a free-to-play player to excel in this game. And so I thought that maybe this video as a hero spotlight for Lubu can answer most of the questions that some of our viewers have been asking in the comment section. Before anything else, slap that like button and drag this video out to your friends. And since 78% of you guys watching are not yet subscribed to the channel, I encourage you to do so. We now have our super chat and super thanks, and if you want to be a member of the channel, you can get perks like custom icons, custom emotes, and enjoy members only content. And with that, let's go back to topic. Lubu, when he first came out of the game, when we are new in the game, is actually one of the heroes that are being sought out by majority of the players in the game. So he came out season 2 in the game, and after that the game was never the same. So when we are new to the game, we know that Lubu is coming, so most of the players, the new players, actually did wait for Lubu. So if you're going to ask me, or if you're going to ask other content creators, he is one of the mostly recommended hero, and his troop are the most recommended troop in the game for free-to-play player and low spenders because of his ability to lift up an account, may it be a free-to-play or a low spender, to have a really good chance fighting off spenders in the game. So first up, I want to show you guys the talents that we have on our Lubu here. So these are mostly the talents that I want you guys to get if you are planning on getting Lubu and if you want to dominate with him. I want you guys to understand his stars first. Why is it important to get 3 stars, 1 star, or 5 stars? So on rank 1, his bonus would be increased unrivaled prowess critical strike rate by an extra 5%. So this is his signature skill. Extra 5% is actually a huge addition. Next one is the 3rd star. We have here increase the damage of Lubu's next customizable skill by an extra 30% every time after any one of your hero deals a critical strike. Now you are actually getting the gist of it already on why it is important for your lineup to have a critical strike rate for most of your heroes, and also how important the 3rd star of Lubu is. Now, if you're going to move on to the 5th star of Lubu, you will increase the chance of unrivaled prowess, which is his signature skill, activating an extra normal attack by 30%. So, having said that, it's like a double attack skill already. But having an extra attack is really a good thing. For low spenders and free to play, early on, once you get Lubu, you don't really need to max him out right away to 5 star. It's really good to have him at 5 star. Number 1, it will increase his might through the tiers of the star levels. Number 2, adding a chance to activate another signature or customizable skills that Lubu possess. For me, the most important star of Lubu is when you hit the 3rd star, because you will already have the bonus for the 1st star, the bonus of the 2nd star, and the damage from your 2nd star, which gives you 2.5% of the troops damage increase. Let me introduce you to the skill of Lubu first. So we have here the one-of-a-kind general. So this is actually well known for already the veteran player. So this one deals my damage up to 5 enemy troops in the circular area, which really helps you a lot in the arena. And you have here 240% might bonus, and also this one can deal critical strike. Now reduces their movement speed also by 10%, which is good in the field. This one is for 3 seconds, and additionally grants 100 initial rage upon entering the battlefield. So the first one is actually good, and the rage cost is really low. That is why Lubu as a commander is really a good choice if you are going to ask me, even up to until current season that we have. We have Unrivaled Prowess, which we have talked about already, the bonuses that you can get for each stars on your Lubu. So this one has a 5 star, so you will see here already the 30% of the normal attack activation. So increases the hero's critical strike rate by 25% and make all the hero skills deal critical strike. Without the 1st star, you will only have like 20% of this. So after any of your hero deals critical strike, increases the damage of Lubu's next customizable skill, which is added also on the 3rd star of Lubu as the extra damage here. And there is a 100% chance to deal one more normal attack So this is actually the 30%. That's why, as I was saying, it really doesn't matter if you have 5-star already on your Lubu as a free-to-play or a low spender, because 3-star is really, really good unless you really want that punch of the might that you can get for 5-star, and also the 30% bonus on the normal attack. Now, this effect lasts for 3 seconds, stuck up to 1 time, does not affect the double attack effect. Next up, we have here the customizable skill, and there are only like 3 skills here that you can choose from, which I think is very useful, which is your Reaper Tiger. For me is a must, because this one, after launching a normal attack, deals might damage right away to the enemy troops soon as it activates, and the damage is really good with 320% plus additionally the might bonus, which will further increase the damage of the 320%, and then increases the hero's critical strike rate by 15%. And we all know, based on what we saw, the importance of hitting critical strike because of the activation of Lubu's, or increases Lubu's damage on his customizable skill. Now, also, we have here Weak Spot, which is my another primary customizable skills that I want you to get, because this one deals might damage to the enemy by 370%, plus additionally might bonus, and increases the hero's damage by 30% for 3 seconds. Just imagine if you are hitting critical like in that span, so you will have a lot of damage right away to your enemy. Now, the next one is sometimes Spirited Pursuit are being considered in exchange for Weak Spot, because once you max this out, you will have 430% of damage, which is huge, like 60% additional damage from your Weak Spot. And the only thing is that it doesn't really add another damage with you like your Weak Spot, so there's that. But they have the same activation chance, and the only advantage of Spirited Pursuit is actually that straight up punch of 430% damage right away. So now that we're done with the skills, let's talk about now the rings of your Lubu. It's either your Ring of Daisy or your Ring of Radiant Guardian. So for me, the Ring of Daisy is really good once you hit the level 30. And it's easy to level this up to level 30, especially if you are a new player. You can focus this up so that you will have already a level 30 ring. And the damage output of this one is really good. And you can actually have a critical for your double strike skill also here because of the skill of Lubu. So having the Ring of Daisy for Lubu is really good. And also, you can use a Radiant Guardian. Now, unless it's level 20 or 30, that I recommend the Radiant Guardian, because this one increases your normal attack also. That will add on to the critical damage of normal attacks. Now, this one increases hero's secondary strike skill activation chance by extra 1.63% for level 20 right now, every 6 seconds, and has a 55% chance to gain the double attack. So the double attack really helps in a way. A Radiant Ring for me, if it's level 20 or higher, you can use on Lubu. But if it's just level 10, I would rather use the Ring of Daisy. So those are the 2 rings that I think would be very beneficial for your Lubu. Just for your Lubu alone. Now, we also have other rings that can help Lubu, but you can use those rings in your secondary heroes, like let's say Attila, or let's say Guan Yu or Rani. So for Lubu mains, just use the Ring of Daisy, and if not, if you already have a higher tier like the Radiant Ring at level 20, use that Radiant Ring. Now, let's talk about the gems that we want on our Lubu. So Lubu himself, as I've said before on my videos, the strategy gems, which houses the unit attack, the health, the defense, and the troop capacity. Unit capacity doesn't really matter which one is on which heroes. But for me, if you are a Lubu user, you really want to at least have 3 attack unit gems, because Lubu is a damage first hero than defense. So for me, having 3 unit attacks will really amplify the damage and the overall functionality of Lubu. So I think 3 in the lineup is good. It doesn't matter if it's on the secondary hero or tertiary hero, but having 3 is really good. Plus, get at least 1 defense gem on the march, and the rest is just get it, like the rest is for the health and the troop capacity. And also, of course, for your arms, you really need all the might that you can get. So get all those mights in there on Lubu, and you will really have a good time with it, with the damage. Now, for the armor, of course, secondary strike gems are needed, all of the slots. And also on your boots, you need might and secondary strike in your boots. So those are the gems, the only gems that I want you guys to focus on if you are using a Lubu. Very easy. So, and now, since we are almost done talking about Lubu alone, let me just finish first with the mounts and the adornments. Now, for the Mount of Lubu himself, the primary goal is to have a legendary or mythical trait like this one, the Gallant, because it will increase the damage of your secondary strike skill to at least 10%. The next priority is the attribute. So, for me, I prioritize this one first because it's percentage based, and even the purple horse will only give you like, let's say, 8 or 7 might, which is just okay, but rather would prioritize the traits. But if you have higher horses like this one, for example, with the might of 12, then you have like, let's say, legendary gallant on, let's say, like 9% or 8% on the percentages of the traits. I think you should go with the higher level of the attributes. So for the other traits that you can use on your Lubu, you can use a Fierce also if you don't have any other choice. You can also use an Army Sunder on a Lubu so that it will cover up almost all the damage, like your critical, your normal attack, and every type of damage. So an Army Sunder is really a good one. Okay, the last one I want you to choose is the Thunderbolt, which increases the critical strike damage of the one whom is mounted and increases it on a certain percentage, up to 13% or 14% if I'm not mistaken, on the mythical traits. That's what I remember from the Thunderbolt. Now you can also encounter traits that are actually also damage dealers, but it can only be used in solo world battles. Now let's go to the adornments. So for me, if you're going to choose an adornment for Lubu, Shadow Chaser should be one of your choices. And make sure that you have an attack adornment on your Lubu himself so that you can have at the end of the line for the adornments, so that you can have the hero skill damage once you are on that level. Plus, the Shadow Chaser is one of the special effects that you want for your Lubu, because after the mounted hero launches a normal attack, there's a 65% chance to increase the hero's next skill damage by additional 10%, which, since your customizable skills or your other skills can crit, this actually will really give you a lot of potential damage. That is why Shadow Chaser for me is one of the most important adornment special effects for your Lubu. So other special effects that I want you guys to be looking out for your Lubu is your Boiling Blood, number one, because this one really helps with the healing and also increases another of your skill, which is a hero secondary strike skill damage by this much depending on your level for 3 seconds, and although it triggers only up to 1 time every 9 seconds though, but the heal is really good, and plus with an additional damage. So Boiling Blood is a go-to after the Shadow Chaser. Now another one is actually the Chain Slayer. It's also a good one, but for me the best one still is a Shadow Chaser here, rather than your Chain Slayer, but this one is also actually good. So actually, that's the only special effects that I want you guys to touch on your Lubu, unless you want him to be a little bit defensive. So Resistance for me is your next best bet. But for me, those that I only mentioned are the ones you should be looking out for. Although the gold ones here are really hard to get. So for me, once you get the Shadow Chaser, you are all good. That's actually the best one. And if you are still targeting for something here, once again, Boiling Blood or Chainslayer can be a go-to if you really want to do it. So, let's talk about now Lubu as a part of the march. Okay, so as I've said, Lubu should be your primary commander, especially in Season 2. And these are the tier lists that you can actually use your Lubu in Season 2, which is you can use him with your Guan Yu and your Attila. So the lineup should be like this. Your Attila should be at the end so that he can buff your Lubu using his Warrior's Hymn and also Critical Insight. So also for Guan Yu, you can use your Guan Yu in Season 1 as the commander while we're waiting for your Lubu. And then you can focus on Attila, leveling up his stars to 3 stars and his skills and his levels in Season 1. So next build that you can do in Season 2 is get Rani in Season 1. So you can get a Lubu, Attila, and also Rani. You want this type of build wherein Lubu is the commander. So what happens is that your Lubu is the damage dealer here. Your Attila boosts your Lubu with a signature skill. And your Attila also helps Rani with the damage and critical strike rate. So Rani can have a critical chance. And if Rani does critical, your Lubu will also have a chance to increase his damage from his customizable skill because of the critical hit of Rani and your Attila. For your from the critical insight also, and also Rani will boost your Lubu with a double attack from her signature skill, plus the Warrior's Hymn also with the damage and critical chance. And of course, it's either if you have King's Blade, then you can boost your Lubu again with a 30% damage increase, or you can also help your Lubu with your Armor Piercer by getting your enemies or your opponent having lesser and lesser armors. It will really work well. So this is the go-to until to the point that you get a Timur. So once you get Timur right here, this is now the lineup. So Timur is needed on the second slot because he needs to activate his signature skill bonus, which is this one that requires a second in command lineup so that you can feel or use the bonus of your signature skill. Now, another one is because Attila should always be at the end of the lineup because he is going to use his warrior sim to boost the damage of your Lubu and also the critical chance rate of your Lubu. In the future, once you have Zhao Yun, you can actually change your Attila to your Zhao Yun if you want a steady defensive lineup. You can actually get your lineup to be a little bit tanky with the heal and his signature skills. And also, if you want Zhao Yun here in the lineup, you can also use your Attila here. Attila boosts your Zhao Yun's damage, your Zhao Yun boosts your Lubu, but for me, having Zhao Yun, you should have a 5-star for your Zhao Yun to increase the rage of this lineup, so you can activate a lot of critical of your Lubu. And also, you can use Zhao Yun here as the commander. And also do it this way if you want to. So this is actually also a potential lineup for you. This will be also a tanky one because of Zhao Yun. Now, the only thing here is that you can also use a Timur here. Only disregarding, though, the additional buffs that your Timur can give you from his signature bonus. But you can also run it this way. So now the question is, for example, you are using a Lubu and you want to use him as a rally hero. Okay, so in a rally, it doesn't really matter who your commander is, number one, because you won't really use that commander skill. But for example, you are using an Attila. So Attila will boost a commander's damage, right? So still, you want your Lubu to be the first one to amplify that damage. Now, you can use either this build with your Timur, because this one really helps you be on that rally longer than what it should be, number one, but with the ample amount of damage because of the boost of Attila. Now, another one that is actually good is your Zhao Yun over here, because Zhao Yun will give you constant healing also from his customizable skill, which is your Pay in Blood. Plus, it also deals damage, and you can continue on using Dragon Manifestation here. That is the thing there. If you are planning to use another healer here like DJG, now that is something else to think about. Because DJG for me, I think, can be useful here in a way. It doesn't really mean that it will always be useful that way, but for me, DJG is a good healer in a rally. Something like a Theo. If you want a DJG here, I won't be really question your thought process. Now, the only thing that you need to change, for example, you are using the Trunkel Ring in a rally. Make sure you change it to a Ring of Clover, because the Trunkel Ring is going to only give you like 18 seconds of protection, wherein the Ring of Clover will give you continuous protection all throughout the rally. You can use the Ring of Wolf, Night Wolf over here. You can also use that on your team or so. I think that's about it for the rally. Oh, and before I forget, don't forget to change your camel rider to your battle elephant if you have two. But in a rally, the sand shield is going to wear off and you won't have that 5% damage anymore in a rally. So if you are going to use this on a rally, make sure you have an alternate mercenary like the Indian battle elephant, because the Indian battle elephant can be useful in the rally because it doesn't have a timer on it like your camel rider here. So Indian battle elephant if you are in a rally. For the last bit of information on your Lubu, since we are already here, which are the best mercenaries for your Lubu? So number one for me is the Camel Rider, because this one increases the activation chance of all your heroes' secondary strike skill or active skill. Although for me, the only recipient for this one is going to be Zhao Yan, and also Lubu, because they have the secondary strike skills. Now, the Sand Shield, though, for the first 18 seconds after entering the battle, reduces the troops' damage taken by 5%, which is actually for me the important 18 seconds in the game, because in that 18 seconds you can either deal a lot of damage to a certain player, and then after 18 seconds it's either you kill that player or you bring him to a certain point wherein he cannot really do that much damage anymore to your lineup. So that's actually why Camel Rider for me is important, because on the first 18 seconds 5% of less damage is actually good. Then you can also use the Indian Battle Elephant, which we were using way before the Camel Rider arrived. So here on the trample, all heroes on the troop have a 5% chance to launch 2 normal attacks each turn, which gives you a lot of potential to activate your skills. So that's actually the use of your 5% chance of normal attacks. And also those normal attacks can deal, as I've said, critical damage. That's why also Indian Battle Elephant was also good before. Now the thing here with the fully armored though on your Indian Battle Elephant is it only reduces the skill damage taken by the troop. It doesn't count for the normal attacks of the heroes. So all skill damage will only reduce for 4%. So that's actually good in a way. So Byzantine Cataphract is the least, in my opinion, because your Lubu is squishy, and having only a chance to get the defense of 3.5% is really risky, although you will get the damage of extra 2% for every skill that you have. For me, the 3 seconds of having 3.5%, which is the lowest of the defense, or the damage reduction that you can get, is actually a poor one when it comes to a Lubu, because Lubu is really squishy. You should run the Byzantine Cataphract if you want to take advantage of the 2% extra damage that your Lubu can get. But for me, still survivability is important. So Camel Rider is number 1, Indian Battle Elephant number 2, Byzantine Cataphract number 3. So I think I pretty much covered everything that you need to know about your Lubu. So the only counter really against a Lubu for me are the pikemen. So those are only the thing that I think you should be wary about. Even some pikemen can't actually withstand the damage or the criticals of a Lubu. So it's okay if you have your Lubu in the field. And the best positive thing about a Lubu is you will always get a lot of points even if you are losing in the field. So even if you are dying, you are still dealing a lot of losses against your opponent in the field. So that's actually one of the best thing that you can get by using a Lubu lineup. You can dominate with the damage, even though you are losing also. You can also dominate in the damage and get more points in the process, get more merits in the process. So Lubu is really good. So if you are a free-to-play player, a low spender, for me, go with the path of Lubu, and you will enjoy the game as a low spender and a free-to-play player because of the ability of Lubu to raise the level of play or gameplay experience that your account can get. And I think that's about it for this video. Now, the question is for you, squad. What do you think about our Lubu impression, opinion, and Lubu Spotlight today? If I missed anything from my tips or my recommendations, or in this video, if I missed something, please do let me know in the comments. And also leave your recommendations or suggestions in the comments so that we can help our beginners or our beginners and also some players in the game. And before we end the video, please don't forget to like this one and share this one with your friends so that they will also know what you have known in this video. And if you're new to the channel, you like this kind of content, don't forget to give us love by subscribing and ring that bell so you will always be notified as soon as we have a new video like this just for you guys. Anyway, squad, have a great day to everyone. This is your TITOBODS, and I will see you in the next one. And hey, click on this video right here for more awesome TITOBODS content. Thanks for watching, you guys, and TITOBODS out.